Hi everybody, it's Veronica Events and the editor of the Wedding Planner Lifestyle Magazine. I am coming to you today. It is Thursday, so I did miss my Wedding Wednesday post. However, I have good reason for that, and I'll share with you why. Welcome everybody, welcome. I'm not sure why I'm squinting the way that I am, but here we go. Hi there. Welcome. It is Thursday. We are, if you're in Canada as I am, we are heading into the long weekend. I'm waving. Hi, everybody. Blowing kisses, smooches. Thank you so much for joining. Today, as I was mentioning, we are heading in, if you're in Canada as I am, we are heading into the long weekend. Our Thanksgiving weekend, so there's a lot to be thankful for, and over the last 2 years. So I'm sure that those of us that are in Toronto and throughout Canada celebrating, I think our neighbors to the north, they will be next month. So we're always a month ahead or a couple of days. So they'll be celebrating next month, but on Monday will be our Thanksgiving. So there's so much to be thankful for. The pandemic, we are still alive. We sympathize and empathize with those families that have lost loved ones. And we are going to pray for them and keep them in our prayers. And those of us that are here, we have our families to celebrate our different families. I do understand that I think effective today, and that's alleged, I'm not sure as yet, it's something that I overheard, that in order for you to be with your family, you may need to be vaccinated, and it's recommended that you ask your family members if they're vaccinated. So we are not going to get into the politicking of the politics, but we are going, thank you so much, thank you for the love. But we are going to celebrate the opportunity to see another Thanksgiving and to give God praise and glory and thank Him for life and health and strength and all the wonderful things He has done and the things He's doing in our lives and the things that He will continue to do. Today, I would like to talk about, oh my goodness, come on in. Thank you. Everyone that's joining, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I will acknowledge you as I go along. Today I had a wonderful visit, just to share with you where I was this morning. I was invited to do a site visit at the newly renovated and Reimagine. Actually, they did the renovation, started last year, actually 2019. And it has been completed this year. They're still working on minor completions, finishing touches, but it's absolutely beautiful. So if you get a chance to, or if you're in the downtown core, please do stop by, ask for Sharon, or call to book an appointment. Of course, you need to be vaccinated and to be wearing your mask. Take all the necessary precautions that you usually would if you're visiting a venue. It's a beautiful hotel. Got to visit the rooms, the event space, the cafe. Like I said, it's absolutely beautiful, very accommodating. The amenities are amazing. So I want to shout out and give the management and staff thank you so much for having me. I really do appreciate it. I am grateful. It's beautiful. It's a mixture of Art Deco, the history of the hotel since I think the 1820s, and just modernizing it, but not too much, and just a wonderful blend of modern and Art Deco. So it's beautiful. There's art. If you're into art like I am, beautiful Toronto art from artists in our city, and they're showcasing their work, and it's a beautiful thing to see. So please do take a minute if you get a chance to call them to book and visit. And moving right along, just like everyone else, preparing for the long weekend. Tomorrow, what I'll be doing, I have to let you know what I'm doing tomorrow. I can't wait to get some food from a food truck, and I know the food trucks are going to be out tomorrow, so I will be there. And of course, I'll go live while I'm there. So I'm invited to visit the vegan truck. I'm not going to tell you yet which truck it's going to be, of course. It's a secret, but when I get there, I'm going to go live. So you'll get a chance to see which truck I'm getting my food from. And like I said, it's all vegan. So that's the first time I'll be doing something vegan from a food truck. So that's exciting. Looking forward to that. Today for my live, it isn't Wednesday, but nonetheless, we are talking about not only weddings, but things not to do, because a lot of times we know what to do. So I'd like to share some insights, some tips, things that you may know already, things that you may not know, and you can do the same with me. It's interactive. Please do leave me a comment. Thank you very much. I appreciate you joining me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. We'll do 10 wedding don'ts. Oh boy. And I think it's important to share the 10 wedding don'ts because, of course, you know, you want to focus on the day. It's fabulous. You want to be able to plan accordingly. You want to avoid any potential pitfalls along the way. And so what we're going to do is take a look at 10 wedding don'ts. And here we go. Okay, so don't be a super bride. Now, I just want to be very clear as to what a super bride is. Because they'll be like, well, Veronica, I'm not a super bride. It's my day and I just want to make sure everything is wonderful. Honey, we understand. We get it. And so does your groom. And we want to be able to do the best job. All your vendors. The reason why we're there is to work with you and on your behalf. So we want you to look good because it makes us look good. So basically it's the relationship is a give and take. We do for you, and in return we look good also, because that's part of our service that we're providing, and we want to make sure that you're happy with the service. So we know you're smart, you're focused, you're energetic, but you're still not a one woman super bride. So make sure that you ask for help. Don't devote your every waking hour to wedding planning. Don't brush aside offers for help. I would strongly suggest, and that may sound a little biased, but I strongly suggest that you hire a wedding planner. I really do. Find someone that you can work with. It's just like hiring any other vendor or service person. Make sure that you have a really good relationship in which he or she understands clearly what your wedding is about, what the theme, what you're looking for. And once it's a good fit, then, you decide to have a contractual obligation between the two of you. So I would suggest that you hire a wedding planner. Now, to avoid being a super bride, again, ask people for help or hire a wedding planner. Don't do everything on your own. Your wedding party, which includes your bridesmaids, they're there. You do have a maid of honor. Please utilize him or her. We have, male or female. So if you're having a male, great. If you're having a female, that's wonderful also. But make sure you incorporate them in the planning, and look for their support and their feedback also. They have wonderful ideas. And always remember, someone that is outside of the entire planning looking in will be able to give you a better objective, or be better objective towards what you're asking your question, than someone who is part of it. So they'll be able to be objective as, I don't think you need that, or I think you do need that. But when you're part of it, you get all caught up in it. So you want everything, and sometimes you don't need everything. Make sure you have what you need and not what you want. So don't be a super bride. That's one of the 10 don'ts. Make sure that you incorporate help and get someone to help you, family, friends, your wedding party, and also for the grooms, the same apply. Your groomsmen, you can definitely run any questions you may have regarding the wedding by them. Who knows, you may have someone in your wedding party that's already married. I know at one time that was kind of passe, where if you're married, you're not supposed to be a bride a groomsman, that's no longer in the case. If you're going to be really, really traditional, then your wedding party, quote unquote, by tradition, should be all single, because the idea behind that is that you may meet your significant other the day of your wedding. A lot of brides have thrown that out the window, and now, you know, there's couples, sometimes the wife is she's a bridesmaid, and the husband, he is part of the groomsmen team. So that's gone out the window for now. But if you're doing that, then like I said, please make sure as a groom that you tap your groomsmen for information and for ideas, and certainly reach out to the wedding planner also. She's there for you, him or her. The second thing is, don't have a cash bar. Now that for me is huge. That is something. Hi everybody. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. We're talking about the 10 wedding don'ts. So please don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. The second one is, don't have a cash bar. Forcing your guests to reach into their sequin clutches or their handbags every time to enjoy champagne or a glass of wine or a gin and tonic or something refreshing. Basically, I see it as rude. I think if you're a host and you're hosting an event, then the bar should be on the house. Now, you can decide that based on your budget or based on the amount that you'd like to spend, that you're not going to have international liquors. You're going to do local, which is your local beer or wine in your country of celebration, wherever you're celebrating. You don't necessarily have to get something that's imported based on budget, but please do not ask your guests to pay at the bar. Very, very tacky. For me, completely, extremely tacky. You're a host, make sure that you can afford to be the host. And like I said, even if your bar is not stacked with international spirits or any kind of alcohol, whatever you have on hand is available to them, and it is free. They're invited guests. The wedding is for them to enjoy, and you really don't want them dipping into their wallet or women into their purse to pay for a drink. Offer wine and beer only. You can do, there's so many things you can do. Like I said, local beers, local wine. You can also decide to do a signature drink where you decide on doing a cocktail, and whether it's alcoholic or non-alcoholic, and you can serve that as a signature drink. But again, no cash bar. You can also decide to open and close the bar in intervals to save money if that's what you'd like to do. Make sure during the cocktail hour it's open, of course, and then it's closed, and then during dinner time it's open again. But if you're doing that, again, make sure there's wine on the table so there's something to drink, and you know, they're not thirsty sitting there wondering, okay, when is the bar going to be open because I need something to drink. So there's so many different options in you managing your money and your budget without having a cash bar. Like I said, it's very, very tacky. Totally against it. Don't like it, don't like it, don't like it. There's ways that we can host a wonderful event, be it a wedding or any other event, and our guests feel like they're invited guests and they're taken care of, and our service is certainly excellent. So you can ask your caterer also at the venue for very kind of low cost options or suggestions how you can have an open bar without spending too much money. Moving right along. Number 3, don't include registry information on your invitation. So basically, I'm going to break that down. Do not include registry information on the invitations. Like having a register is a really good thing for everyone. When you buy gifts for a couple, basically you're steering them away from things you don't want to things that you do want. So it saves them time, it saves them money. You know, they don't have to contend with wrapping stuff and getting it all ready. They just pick basically from the registry, and that's taken care of. However, you know, it doesn't belong on your invitation. So that is something that you can include when you're sending your notice of like invitations to follow. You can definitely include that. Giving a gift is never mandatory, but I always say it's courteous. So it's a part of courtesy. It's our etiquette. It's not mandatory. But if you're not doing something and, you know, you're not giving them a gift, then we recommend that you give them a cash gift. And again, they're not going to ask you for a cash gift, again, because some people think it's very tacky. But I think as a guest, you should know, if I'm not taking something, if I haven't selected something from the register that they've included, then certainly the day of, you can buy a wonderful card. You can include a gift for yourself, both of you if it's a couple, and you can actually provide that to them as a gift, you know, for the day they're celebrating their life together. So it's important to make sure that you follow the instructions of the bride, but don't include that on the invitation. Number 4, don't be bossy with your bridesmaids. And I've seen that a lot. Please don't do that. Please understand they are part of your wedding, because first and foremost, before you got married, they were your friends. And you still want to make sure that they're your friends after you've been married. Actually, you need them more than you did before. So it takes a village. So please don't boss them around. In the traditional sense, bridesmaids, in particular your maid of honor, they're supposed to stand for you, take your vows, act as a witness. Basically, somewhere along the line, you know, they become more than just your bridesmaid, like sisters, your cousins. They're like besties. So please do treat them with respect and the respect they do deserve. A lot of them are paying, remember, they're paying for their dress, or they're paying for their hair, or their shoes, or their makeup, whatever it is that they're covering the costs. That basically is similar to a gift to you. So please keep in mind that you've invited them. They want to be part of your wedding, part of the wedding party. They're spending money to be part of your wedding party. They're supporting you. They're loving you. They're caring for you. And that is important to treat them with the utmost respect. Don't let it happen that even if you're not feeling your best that day, and I can understand you get a bit overwhelmed, just be sensitive to them and their feelings, and always lead with kindness. And remember to also have a gift for them. It's absolutely important. And just a couple of suggestions for gifts. Based on the weather, you can do like a pashmina shawl. You can do something monogram, a trinket monogram. It has, you know, yourself and your new husband's name and the date of your wedding. And do something that they'll actually use and they'll really appreciate. So they'll put it on if it's a nice bracelet. It doesn't necessarily have to be gold. If you can afford that, then certainly. I mean, it can be silver and it can be engraved. And they're used, or a necklace, you know, with the heart shape, and it has your picture in it with the date of your wedding. Something that they really do appreciate, because again, they are part of your girl squad. They're supporting you, and they're paying to be part of your wedding. And please remember to treat them with the utmost respect. Like I said, after that day, you'll still need to have friends and girlfriends in your girl squad. So remember to treat them with the utmost respect and not be too bossy. Don't give your guests, don't let your guests kind of cool their heels between the ceremony and the reception. Sometimes you have that little break. It's a little lull between the ceremony and the reception. It's similar to when you're all hyped about Christmas. You know, when Christmas is coming, you're like, oh my gosh, it's the holidays. You're getting everything ready. You're decorating. And then after Christmas, there's Boxing Day. Of course, in Canada, we celebrate Boxing Day. But between Boxing Day and New Year's, you're like, okay, what am I doing? You're tapping, looking, there's nothing to do for those next couple of days until the New Year when you celebrate again. So that is the feeling you don't want to have at your wedding. Once, you know, I attended kind of a wedding, and, you know, you get to that point and you're sitting going, okay, what am I supposed to make sure that your wedding planner, if not a wedding planner, I'm going to speak about a wedding planner because I'm recommending that you hire a wedding planner, that it's scheduled in a way there isn't that gap between what is being done at the ceremony and what is being done at the reception. And then guests are just looking around, you know, twiddling their thumbs. Make sure that everything is scheduled, the itinerary is packed, people know where they're going to be, and basically it's a nice flow. There's a nice vibe between the ceremony and the reception. So that's absolutely important. And that includes specifically time gap, provide transportation, make sure it's a comfortable spot that they're sitting, they're comfortable, they're still having something to drink, they know what's going on, even if they're waiting for photos, you know, you're planning time, okay, it's your turn next. Just keeping them informed so you don't have that pregnant pause where they're thinking, okay, what's going on here? Am I at a wedding, or, you know, is this another function? So keep the vibe and the energy high between the ceremony and the reception. The sixth don't for weddings is don't plan a difficult destination wedding. And I'm going to be specific about that because it's absolutely important. You're not in your home country, that's number one. You are in a different country, which is totally fine. You're safe. I'm going to assume that you are going to, and I highly recommend that you be on a resort. You have that wedding on a resort, on the beach, wherever you're going to have it, but it's in a resort setting. So you have all the amenities and there's a lot of action. You have the club that they can actually go to. There's day trips that they can have. They can get to go to the spa. People are still into fitness when they're traveling. There is a fitness club that they can still get to exercise. They can walk on the beach. There's so many activities, but specifically what I'd like to actually narrow it down to is the allure of this exotic faraway wedding, and you can actually picture it exchanging your vows, you know, on volcanoes and in Hawaii, a gondola in the Australian Alps, wherever you are. Destination weddings can be absolutely terrific. I've worked at it. I've attended a destination wedding. They're beautiful. However, while some of your friends and family, you know, you can welcome them and they can afford it, not all of your friends may be able to attend. So please keep that in mind, that if you're having a destination wedding, it may be more intimate where a smaller amount, 10 people or less, can attend. Again, it all comes down to money. And if the people that you're inviting can afford it, if so, you go with that group, but please remember that they're still your friends back home. They're excited. Later on, you can post pictures if that's what you'd like to do. But I would suggest that when you come home and, you know, you're all settled in, and later on, maybe in a month or 2 months' time, please do something that you can actually host them. They can be part of it. You may not want to get into your wedding dress again, but a beautiful dress for that occasion, invite them so that they will be able to celebrate with you and your new husband, and they don't feel left out because they didn't get the opportunity to actually go to the destination or travel there. Also, key things that I'd like to add regarding the destination wedding that it's super, super important that you take into consideration. First of all, when your family or guests arrive, please make sure that you have. There you go. Hi guys. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Yeah, sorry about that. The video just paused for a little bit. So I'm back. Thank you for waiting. Hi. Okay. So just to wrap up very quickly, number 6, things not to do. So what we're talking about is the top 10 wedding don'ts. And I'm at number 7, destination wedding. I just mentioned that if you have guests coming in from overseas, it's absolutely important to make it easy for everyone to choose a well-traveled location. Number 2, planning well in advance so it gives them time to be able to travel to celebrate with you. People may have to take time off. You know, they need time to put money away, to save money, to plan for their trip. So it's important that you give them time in advance. Also providing them information and help, and also securing really good group rates. So I would suggest that you work with a travel agent, a travel specialist, a travel professional to arrange rates and accommodations for them. And just stay in contact with the resort. If you have a planner, that will not be what you'll be doing, of course. That would be the role of the planner. But if you're not working with a planner, and again, I suggest the planner, if you're not, then those are the key things to take into consideration. And I'll repeat it again. One thing is make sure that you're choosing a well-traveled destination. Make sure you plan in advance to notify your guests that you're inviting, provide information and help for them, suggest a reputable travel agent, a travel professional, a travel specialist, however you describe their profession. They're excellent. They know most of the locations. They've done fam trips to visit. They know what is on site. They know the amenities. There's tons of information that they can impart and share with you. It is a paid service, so because they do really good job. So work with them. And again, if you have a wedding planner, she's also knowledgeable about the location. Many of us have visited many of the resorts. We know what is on site. We have contact on the ground for services that we can recommend, and to work with the local folks in the locale. So make sure that you work with someone who has certified as a destination wedding planner and has those contacts that you can have a smooth transition. Please don't let your guests get there and then they're not sure how they're getting from the airport to the hotel. That's really not a really good look. So it's important that transportation is provided for them. And then there's activities prior to the wedding and then after the wedding if they're staying, a little bit. Sometimes what people do, they decide to make it a vacation because they're spending money to go. So just make sure that there's a lot for them to do and see and enjoy. Number 7, don't go do it yourself crazy. As we say, DIY crazy. Please don't go DIY crazy. I know you're a clever bride. I know you've sewn your own dress. You've designed your own invitations. You've baked your own 3-tier cake. Your girlfriend thinks you're awesome. And that's all well and good. But for your wedding, it's a whole nother level. That's going to the next level. So I would suggest in order to manage your stress, to hire a planner and have the planner work with you. Now, if you're doing a do-it-yourself project, make sure that you know why you're doing the project. If you're doing something for your table, just make sure you're not overwhelmed by it. It's a one-of-a-kind. Maybe you're doing some stamps, one-of-a-kind, or you're putting a trinket on the table. There's something unique that you'd like to add. That is wonderful for you to do that. Please do not decide to do that if you have a guest list of 300 or 400 people. I mean, I can understand 100 people, 120, but if you have a larger wedding, please make sure that you speak to your planner about that. I'm sure that she could locate services or someone that has that service that they can provide you. And of course, it will cost you, but I'm sure they can definitely work something out with you to get whatever it is that you'd like to do done for your wedding. However unique you'd like it to be, we can find a vendor to work with you. And number 8, don't let parents steamroll your invitation list. Oh my goodness. I'm going to say that one slowly for the people in the back. Do not let your parents steamroll your invitation list. And what do I mean by that? And there's no disrespect to parents at all, because I do have both of mine. So there's no disrespect to parents. We're speaking from a place of a planner providing you information or assisting you at your wedding. And I'm going to be specific in which I'm going to go verbatim on what I wrote about this. Back in the days, your parents used to foot the bill for a bride while you're barely out of high school, and the guest list and your mom and your dad had all these great ideas for a party, and the couple, times have changed. A lot of the couples are paying for their own wedding. Now, I want to be clear that doesn't mean that there's no respect or honor given to the parents. I'm just saying that mom cannot have all her church friends at your wedding. Dad cannot have all his work buddies at your wedding. They have to decide who is most important to invite to the wedding, and not everyone will be able to have an invitation, but then again, you can send them cake. As you know, back in the day, I'm going to say, you used to, if someone couldn't or didn't get an invitation to your wedding, you had the cake boxes, you would cut the cake, put it in a cake box, and you'll tag it with a really nice tag saying, sorry you missed the wedding, or, you couldn't be with us to celebrate, but here, and you would send the wedding. You can still do that. You can have a gift that you can share, or you can send, or you can deliver to someone who wasn't invited. So they still appreciate that, they didn't get an invitation. However, you made an effort to provide them with a token, something that momentous, that they would cherish regarding your celebration, and they're still part of it, where you still wanted them to be part of it by acknowledging them. So it's important that parents, again, you need to brush up on your negotiation skills. That's for the bride and groom. And start early, have a budget in mind. Remember, once you have a spending limit, I like to say spending limit instead of budget. You have a spending limit, make sure you stick to your spending limit. And I would suggest the only way you go above your spending limit is if it's something that is a need, not a want. You go above your spending limit. I'm repeating it again, for something. Thank you so much for the love. Oh my goodness. Thank you. I appreciate you. God bless you. God bless you, smooches. You only raise your spending limit, or as some will say, your budget, for things that you need, not a want. A want is something that you can do without for your wedding. A need is where if you have to add another $100, $200, you consider that. But don't just raise the limit just because you have the money. We don't want you to have the wedding and then you're feeling, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have really done that. No second guessing, or thinking about the next day, like I could have done without that. Let's do that before and make wise choices, and choices based off of our spending limit when we're celebrating our love. It's important to do that and still stay within your spending limit. The ninth one is, don't forget about your fiance. And that will be your groom. And many of us know, and I'm speaking to the ladies now, and gentlemen, you are welcome at all times. It may seem like sometimes you do, I know we do, like plenty of us, we surprise ourselves. We got our head stuck in, all the Florence and the Glossy and the Stephanopoulos and the roses, and, and we're like, okay, where is he in all this? Like, how do we fit him in? How do we incorporate him? Because it's his day also. So we just want to make sure that we're not neglecting him in the wedding process, in the wedding planning process. Getting him ready is important. Some men are vocal in the sense, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you, Sandals Resort. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Thank you for that. Shout out to Sandals Resort. Thank you so much. In Jamaica. Love the location. They've been really, really great to me. The suites are amazing. I've been their VIP guest on several occasions. And again, they've been absolutely the world-class service. So thank you for that. I appreciate you. Going back to, don't forget about your fiance. Please do not forget about him. He is one of the reasons that you're getting married. There's no marriage without him. And I'm not speaking about anything else other than, he asked and you said yes. So he's important to this whole process, this whole celebration of love. So don't forget about him. He has needs also. There's things he would actually want to see, be it traditional, if he's from a different culture than you are. Please take that into consideration regarding him getting ready. And ladies, I'm speaking to you directly. Do not, I repeat, do not try to tell him what to wear. Give him a color and then let him choose his own suit. Because I know a lot of times I've been there. So you can't say to me, oh, Veronica, that's not true. That is true. Give him a color, navy blue, light blue, gray, black and white, whatever it is that you're deciding. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. Please do not specify. Tell him what color, and do allow him as an adult to choose the style. And, that's his way in deciding, this is what I want to wear. Okay, she's giving me the color that I need to. Of course, you've done that. But he can decide, how it fits or what's the design, if he wants to go with a jacket, if he wants to mix and match, if he wants to go, if it's a black tie affair, of course, he has to be in black and white shirt, dark suit, black suit with a bow tie or the necktie. I love a bow tie. It's different. I just think it's smart. But what I'm saying is, please allow him to decide the style of his suit, and he will actually share that information again with his groomsmen, and that will be passed down by your wedding planner. So he gets a chance to feel like he's part of the wedding and he is contributing in a significant way because, of course, he is important to the entire celebration. He's part of it. And last but not least, don't bow to bridal peer pressure. And this last one is absolutely important. Again, as I mentioned don't do it yourself and go crazy, and don't let your parents steamroll your invitation list. Remember, everyone you add to your invitation or to your guest list costs money. If you look at it from that point of view, then you'll understand what it is you want to spend. Again, you'll go back to your budget or your spending limit and you'll stick to it, because every time you add someone to that list, that is someone else that you have to provide a meal, a seat, a table. A seating means food. You have to provide for them. So please be conscious of it. And if you are thinking about keeping your numbers small, that's the way that you look at it. If I have 100 people and the meal costs $100, then you do the math and you know how much that your food will cost, including taxes, gratuities, and everything else. And that's not even your bar. So that's how you calculate what it's going to cost you or what it is that you'd like to spend. So keep that in mind. So don't bow to peer pressure. It's not insidious. Just go back from your friend's wedding and you battling with others regarding the numbers. Maybe your mom, like I said, she needs to understand not everyone from the church group can attend. And you just want to make sure that you're booking the things that you need, like a DJ and a florist and a videographer and a photographer. Those services are services that you really do need. Again, when everyone leaves, the only thing that you have left of that love celebration are your photos and video. When everyone goes home, that's all that's left of the ceremony. So it's important that your photographer is reputable, your videographer, if you're going to have photo and video, that's great. If not, I'm all for pictures, so I love photos. You can always do photos and you can always put it to music, to get a video, but it's important that you have a really great photographer or a great videographer for them to actually savor those memories, capture those. And you're looking for photojournalism again, not everything stage and your pose. You're looking for candid shots, which are absolutely beautiful, like when the bride is doing a belly laugh or she's holding her drink and dancing, something like that you capture. So it's a fun, you see her personality in it. So again, don't bow to pressure. You know what your budget is. I'm going to repeat it. If you don't have done Perignon money, you don't need to get that. Sparkling wine is fine. If you're scrambling to decide what to get, make sure go back to your budget again. The important things, you go over your budget, and I would suggest you go over your budget within, I would say, if you're planning a year out, you always go back to your budget, I think, twice or three times a month. Once a month, definitely, even a little bit more if you're making a big purchase. Or you're investing in a big service like your video or your photos. You'll hate yourself later if you don't get photos and video or a cake. And make sure also that you stay in line with the theme of the wedding and what you set out for your wedding. Whatever is the path or whatever is the structure of the planning of your wedding, you work with your planner. If you're doing it yourself, which I don't suggest, I suggest getting a planner. Your planner will keep you on track. And make sure if you're going to do anything that will eat into your budget, you notify her. It's a beautiful relationship of giving and exchanging, and just make sure that you leverage that relationship and you share with her. If you have concerns, she's there to hear and advise you and give you sound advice regarding money management, budgeting, planning, the event, setting up. She has that information. She's well trained to support you, and make sure that you're communicating with her. That's all I have for today. Again, I just want to reiterate, today we discussed the top 10 wedding don'ts. And my, in conclusion, what I'd like to say is Remember again to adhere to your guidelines. Make sure your wedding is a hit with you first and your guests. Make sure there's no lapse or there's no pregnant pause between the ceremony and the reception. The music is always going. The food is on point. The drinks are flowing. Even if you don't have an exclusive bar, or you just have the basic bar, it's still what you can afford, and your guests will be happy with what they're receiving. They're there to celebrate you. Make sure that you keep that in mind. Be a great host. Be kind to your bridesmaids. Be kind to your service providers, and have a wonderful wedding. God bless you. I wish you well. Congratulations to all the future brides, all the engaged couples. Congratulations to you. Happy planning. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll be back next Wednesday by God's grace for another episode of Live from the Wedding Planner Lifestyle Show. This video will be posted to the YouTube channel, so please check it out there. It's the same name like our magazine, the Wedding Planner Lifestyle Show. It's our purple logo. You can't miss it. Please subscribe, comment, like, share our video. Again, thank you so much, so much, so much. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy your long weekend. Please be safe and eat, drink, and be merry. God bless you. Smooches. Bye. Bye, everybody.